What if the scariest economic crash isn't caused by AI failing? What if it's caused by AI working too well? Because right now, a phrase is spreading across markets like a contagion. Ghost GDP. Economic output that shows up on paper, but never reaches humans. No wages, no spending, no stability. And if that sounds like sci-fi, Wall Street just reacted like it's real. Today I'm going to connect the dots between the viral ghost GDP thesis, the sudden fear of a white-collar recession, and the one asset that's acting like a thermometer for all this chaos: silver. Because silver isn't just a metal. It's part safe haven and part industrial lifeblood. And lately, it's been moving like the market can't decide if we're heading into a boom or a breakdown. This week, the AI scare turned real, not just in tech forums, but in mainstream finance. A wave of viral essays argued that white-collar workers should be afraid, comparing this moment to early 2020, when everyone could feel something coming, but nobody acted in time. And one piece in particular hit like a bomb. Citrini Research published a scenario, not a prediction, they insist, warning of a potential global intelligence crisis. But the key idea was unforgettable: ghost GDP. Citrini's scenario describes an economy where AI drives productivity and profits. GDP looks fine. Yet wages collapse, spending dries up, and the consumer economy, the human economy, starts to wither, and the market flinched. The Dow dropped hard on the fear, and software stocks got hit especially badly. Reuters described investors getting spooked by these dystopian AI outlooks and noted US software shares were down about 24% so far in 2026 in that moment. Here's the cleanest way to understand ghost GDP. Normally, the economy is a loop. Workers earn wages, spend money, businesses earn revenue, hire more workers, repeat. But in the ghost GDP story, AI breaks the loop. Citrini describes output showing up in the national accounts but not circulating through the real economy, because the output is increasingly generated by machines owned by a narrow slice of firms and investors, while humans get fewer paychecks. And here's why this concept grabs people. It reframes the fear. The question isn't, will AI be bad for the economy? It's, what if AI is so good at productivity that it becomes socially and financially destabilizing? That exact tension is what made this go viral and what made markets start reacting. The anxiety isn't just numbers, it's identity. Stories are emerging of experienced professionals sending hundreds of applications and getting ghosted, feeling like they fell off a cliff with no flashlight. And that's the psychology layer that makes this moment combustible. When white-collar workers, people who believed they were safe, start feeling replaceable, spending behavior can change before the official data admits anything is wrong. That gap between what people feel and what the data reports is exactly where panic narratives thrive. And if you want to understand why ghost GDP stuck, it's because it's a perfect name for a perfect fear. Everything looks fine, but nobody you know is doing fine. Now, important, this isn't one-sided. Major voices pushed back, arguing the economics behind the doomsday scenario are unsound, and that productivity shocks historically can raise real incomes rather than erase them. They also point to constraints, energy, compute, and real-world bottlenecks that can slow the speed of disruption. So the real question becomes not, is ghost GDP guaranteed, but is the transition messy enough to trigger a white-collar recession before society adapts? And that brings us to the market's lie detector. Because while people argue online, money is already voting. Let's talk about silver, because it's been acting like a live wire headline scanner. As of today, spot silver is sitting around $96 per ounce. Now here's what makes that number more interesting than it looks. According to the Silver Institute, silver fell below $80 earlier in 2026, then showed resilience and formed technical support, while the market expects a sixth straight annual deficit in 2026. So in just weeks, you have a metal that was under $80, now pushing toward the mid-90s. That's not normal commodity behavior. That's a market trying to price inflation fears, recession fears, AI capital spending, geopolitics, and supply stress, all at the same time.